Dr. Angelique Nixon joins us now live to discuss today's protest and the general state of LGBT rights in Trinidad and Tobago. She's a lecturer at the Institute of Gender and Development Studies at the St. Augustine campus of the University of the West Indies. Dr. Nixon, what exactly is this Jones case about?
Well, thank you so much for having me, Sweeney. This is really great. I just want to say that the Alliance for Justice and Diversity, we have come out today and we are organizing really to try to turn attention, the national attention, away from people's bedrooms and back to more pressing matters such as income inequality, economic sustainability, crime and violence, strengthened governance, inter-island transportation, which is a major issue right now between Trinidad and Tobago, as well as thinking about national values of tolerance and diversity. And so the case has, riled up a lot of different feelings and sentiments across the country. And so what we wanted to do today was to draw attention to the parliamentarians who are the guarantors of citizens' human rights to this evangelical campaign. And what is that? That has increased hate speech, and it's fostered a lot of fears that LGBTQI persons in the community feel about discrimination and safety. And so we really wanted to amplify the voices of LGBT organizations and persons who are really organizations have been doing a work for a long time and are saying that, well, we have a lot of places where we need protection. And so we wanted to amplify our campaign around already drafted legislation to expand protection in the Equal Opportunity Act to include sexual orientation as well as HIV status and age. And those have been long-standing efforts.
Dr. Nixon, I just wanted to interrupt a second. I know Jason Jones has been very active on his social media, and he said, intermittently you get like ebbs and flows, and right now he's going through a period where a lot of people are attacking him personally and possibly even giving death threats. I wanted you to talk about the real life for LGBT persons in Trinidad and Tobago, like what has this case, the levels of insecurity that this case is bringing to light, and what do you want the government to do to help offer them some more security?
Yes, well, the case is a savings law clause case, and I'm sure that you'll cover that in some point. But yes, of course, there are concerns about safety and there are concerns about visibility. But what we did today was we said that, yes, we're going to be visible. We want to show the government and parliamentarians and the public that we are here and we have a voice and we do have rights and we deserve protections, and we want the government to know. And what we did was we presented material and spoke with members of parliament as they were walking into the chamber. And that is what we wanted to focus on. We wanted to focus on the harm that the evangelicals are raising around enacting fear and misinformation about the case. One of the things that the evangelical groups are saying is that this case is going to translate to same-sex marriage, and that is not true. One of the things they're also saying is that this case is going to demand that comprehensive sex education and sexuality will be taught in schools, and it will turn children gay. And that's also misinformation. And so what we wanted to do today was to say, no, that yes, this case is important. It's very important. We are all on the edge of our seats for Thursday to see what will happen. But we also know that the court case, as it has been presented, and the state has presented its arguments, that they are focused on it as a savings law issue, which is that the court can't make a decision about it. So, because it's a pre-existing law.
Okay, so I guess the results of the case, y'all will be anxiously anticipating the results of the case on Thursday, because that seems really interesting that they can't really change. If I'm understanding you correctly, you're saying that they can't really change the law based on what Jason's case is trying to achieve?
That is what the state's defense of maintaining the laws. They did not argue the case on moral grounds or religious grounds. The state said that Trinidad and Tobago is a secular state. There is religious freedom. and that this is a savings clause law issue, which means that for laws that were pre the Constitution and the establishment of the Republic, that those laws cannot be overturned or changed unless it goes up to Parliament. Now, the argument, interestingly, in the case is that some of the laws were amended. The Sexual Offences Act had increased penalties, and so the lawyers on the Jason Jones side are saying that, well, no, the law was actually changed, and so therefore the courts can decide that they are infringing upon the rights and freedoms, and that it's a constitutional challenge. So we'll see what happens on Thursday.
We will see what happens on Thursday, and I'm already booking you tentatively to probably talk to us on Friday to react to what has happened in the court case. But I want to go back to the protest this morning. Y'all were in front of the Parliament for a reason, and you're now saying that you need to get parliamentary assistance. What sort of responses have y'all gotten from parliamentarians as they were making their way into the chamber?
Well, there were nice greetings. They took the material, and one of the things we did was we wanted them to engage with the community that was standing out, allies and loved ones and members of the LGBTQ community. And, there were different things that happened along the way where, yes, there were some niceties, but we didn't have very long conversations. The point was to give them material and say, we're here, we have concerns, and we are interested in these issues, and we want you to raise them. And I think that was a really important message. And also to get media to share what we're doing and to raise awareness and to counter a lot of the misinformation about the case and the kind of fears. And we're very concerned about young people. One of the things that have come up again and again in our strategy and our community groups and meetings is that young people are hearing we all have faith. Some of us have different spiritual practices and follow different religions, but this one religious group is raising so much hate and fear. And imagine young people who are Christian and hearing this, what might happen to them. We're concerned about self-hate, we're concerned about harm, and we're also concerned about how this fuels violence, and it distracts us from some of the real pressing concerns that are going on in Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you so much for that, Angelique. Really, really quickly, one of the parliamentarians that you spoke to, did you get to speak to the Attorney General at all?
I'm not sure. We had different people moving around because we had a huge crowd, and we had different members of our Alliance for Justice and Diversity engaging members as they walked in. And one of our strategies was to sing the national anthem as they were approaching, to kind of create a pause.
I think we have some footage of you singing the national anthem. I don't think we got to use it. Unfortunately, Angelique, I have to cut this interview short because we've gone on a little bit. But thank you so much for chatting with us. I am sure we're going to be speaking to a member of your team on Friday about this case. We were just talking to Dr. Angelique Nixon. She is a lecturer at the Institute of Gender and Development Studies at the University of the West Indies in St. Augustine.